What's your next running goal?
Um,
Or do you have that? Do you work?
oh yeah. It's I'm going to. Oh, I'm trying to do a sub 4-hour marathon.
Nice.
And that's going to hopefully be Portland, but my training is not. Well,
Portland's a tough one too. Right?
I thought I had it, and then running that 14-mile run earlier this week really sort of made me rethink it. So we'll see.
Sure.
Maybe I need to rest.
Work your way up to it too, or whatever. Yeah, it should be good. All right.
Youngberg.
Hello, Internet. I'm Dan.
And I'm Chaz. This is Wine is Serious Business, episode 145.
We're back after an amazing Wine Bloggers Conference weekend. So we're going to probably talk a lot during this show, but we're keeping it down to 2 wines, some nice local wines. This we've done on the show. This will be the 3rd vintage in a row.
Yeah.
We've liked all the previous ones. We just saw it on the shelves. We're excited to check it out. This I tasted just before the Wine Bloggers Conference. Normally I don't like Pinot Gris very much, and I kind of like this one, so I think that's worth talking about.
I tasted this as well, and I could see what other people like about it. It's a pretty good wine, so we should check it out.
Yeah, let's do this right away. Yeah, Youngberg Hill was 2011, right?
Yeah.
2011 Pinot Gris. Got some great vineyards. This is like out in wine country. I'd never even been in their little region before. There are a couple other wineries out there I got to check out. You drive way up on the hill. They got this huge bed and breakfast kind of overlooking the valley.
Oh.
I had never seen it. You probably can see it from the road, but the view is incredible. This nice little pocket of vineyards that are kind of high up on the hill. It kind of keeps them cooler. Yeah, it's an interesting place. Some other good wines too, but this was something that, like I said, don't usually like Pinot Gris, so it's noteworthy.
All right, let's try it.
A summery nose, like kind of like I'm getting like some melons and kind of like some dandelion scents coming off of this.
This is a lot more tropical than most Pinot Gris in Oregon. Like a lot of it comes off sort of green fruit and sort of a little bit like green apple-y, and this is not that. It's more like pineapple-y and orange melons, as Dan said.
Yeah, you kind of got me on the kiwi thing too from an earlier show, and I'm finding that more and more and more.
Yeah, it comes up sometimes. It smells wonderful. Totally awesome.
Oh, good on the palate, good on the shirt.
Spilled it down my front.
Yeah.
Having that kind of night.
Nice acidity all the way across. I really like how crisp it is on the palate. Keeps things clean and refreshing.
Strong citrus notes on the palate.
Yeah,
definitely. This is almost like oranges and lemons, and yeah, just sort of. But the way it transitions into the finish is almost like green apples, right? Like there's almost like it's
like just barely ripe green apples. Like the acidity is strong. Like there's a firm touch to it.
That's good.
But it seems like Pinot Gris kind of even has like. Even when there is strength, it's kind of like a stupid strength sometimes. There's like some spice, and it's just kind of oafish and not very enjoyable. Like this is
very focused,
crisp, yeah, like focused, standing at attention. And definitely, if you don't like acidity too much, this will probably be too much for you. But for me, it's working really well, and the flavors like are kind of integrated pretty well. They work well together, and then there's just good fruit character in this. I dig it.
Yeah, I think Dan nailed it there. I mean, this is going to be too much acidity for some people. I think when there's integration between the acidity and the fruit is when I really start to enjoy it. Like I can imagine this much acidity being in the fruit that's in this. Like it's like all oranges and lemons, and it's perfect. Yeah, it's very integrated. So I can't talk today.
But I'm going to take it to 88 points. Just barely. It's a stretch for me, but it's solid, and I think it deserves it. And I'd like to see more Pinot Gris like this in Oregon.
Yeah, I like it quite a bit. I would say this is one of the better Pinot Gris I've had that's in this style, this bone dry, and 89 points for me.
Nice.
I like it quite a bit.
Sweet, good showing. So
yeah, really good
thanks for making cool Pinot Gris.
89 plus. That's good wine.
Wow,
that's really good wine. Yeah, it's delicious.
Sweet. We're going to move on to wine number 2. We'll get all the chatter in afterwards. So if you're just here for the notes, you can leave. Grochau Cellars Commuter Cuvee 2011. Love this wine. 2 years in a row. Actually, and now that we're talking about you, both of these come in at under $20 a piece at the price point. Again, the past 2 years, this has been one of the best QPRs coming out of
Absolutely.
Oregon.
And consistent in that, right?
Yeah. So I'm excited about this. A few barrel samples I've had from 2011, a couple 2011 wines I've tasted have been great. Looking forward to this.
It'll be hard to work the acidity of that Pinot Gris out in my mouth.
It's true.
All right. Man, soft nose.
Yeah, definitely. Like
Almost hard to smell it.
a little bit of strawberry. A little bit of like bark chips or something like that. Like just a little.
There's a little bit of wood in it. Maybe.
Maybe a little cherry too. A little on the lighter side. I'm getting just a touch of heat. Not enough to really get to me, but it's there.
They're really, really gentle fruit flavors here. There's nothing like jumping out in the glass here. It's really, really mellow.
White on the nose. Tasty fruit. Again, definitely the strawberry showing through. I think some raspberries too. Definitely the red end of the spectrum this time.
Young cherries. And it's really, really delicate. Like and we were kind of struggling with the nose, but the fruit here is right up front, easy to understand, right?
Yep.
Great acidity backing up all the red fruit.
Great acidity again.
Just a touch of tannin, just enough to back it up, and not over the top. Yeah, nice.
A little bit of that oak on the nose shows through on the finish, but it's a you know, just like that little bit of tannin. It's a nice, just a little bit of backbone on this fruit, which is, you know, like bright, friendly, really accessible. What do you think?
Well, I was just looking at the alcohol, 12.5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's low. This is like juicy. It's I like when wines kind of get this characteristic, right? It's just like the lower alcohol wines almost come off just like lighter, and I don't know.
There's like a hint of black pepper going on somewhere. I can't even nail down whether it's coming through on the nose or on the palate, because it's kind of ethereal. It's not really like a strong peppery component. There's just that little touch of spice. Again, man, just fantastic at sub $20.
Totally.
It's like light, but the fruit delivers. It's friendly. There's just a little bit of complexity there to keep things interesting and to show kind of some Pinot Noir character.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Everything you said. I'm not even going to add anything to it.
Yeah, 88 plus points for me. Delicious wine, and at sub 20, right? If you're chilling out, if you see it on restaurant lists, man, it shows up on glass pours a lot just due to this good price. Shows up at restaurants. Great time to check it out if you're looking for something to drink casually. It's great to check out. If you're not from the area or you want to get a little taste of Oregon Pinot Noir, just to try something out without spending too much money, this is a great place to start.
It also goes to a good cause, right? I mean,
it's true.
The funds or the profits from this bottling go to
a portion of
a portion of the profits. Yes, they go to
bicycle safety charity.
Thank you.
Yeah, Brett Drumleck Memorial Fund, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah. So yep. It's good part of being good. Part of a good thing about being a team, but.
All right.
Yeah.
87 plus for me.
Yeah. So
delicious wine. And,
solid wine.
For the price, worth checking out.
Yeah. So great. So that's our two wines. On to a little bit of chatter. We had a great time at the Wine Bloggers Conference. Fun chatting with some friends, making some new friends. Mike, Catherine, and Marion, kind of through Balzac Communications, Franciacorta USA, and Chianti Classico. You know, they were all working with that, but we got to spend a lot of time hanging out together, drinking some Oregon wine. Nice to meet some new people.
Got to show off the town a little bit. That was awesome. Glad we had a great time with you guys. So yeah. Look forward to seeing you guys again.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. And we were so impressed. Like, we were curious. We were talking about this months in advance. Like, aren't you going to be tasting a lot of wine? People ask us, aren't you just going to be tasting stuff that you guys have tasted before? I'm like, for the most part, that's probably true. A lot of the Oregon producers, like, there's not a whole lot of new stuff we're going to see there, but I'm really curious to see how the local wineries present themselves, right, at an event like this, what they choose to show. And, man, they blew my hair back. I'm so impressed. All of the smaller, like, regional AVA groups got together, worked together to put on a good showing. Oregon wine had an incredible welcoming tasting with great turnout. So
And a lot of like stellar wines.
Yeah.
Like we're not talking they're bringing out and they're just showing the the 20s and the $30 bottles. Like they were throwing down the heavy stuff all over the place, and it was amazing. Like,
amazing.
Really, really showing off what Oregon wine is capable of, and that was just awesome. I just loved it.
And some specific shout outs, some friends of ours, Brooks, Johan, and Big Table Farm, always a fan of their wines. It was great to see some of our favorites participating, and again, just bringing their A game, man, like every step of the way, like the wines that they chose to share with the group of bloggers at large were fantastic wines.
Excellent choices.
Yeah.
A lot of great wine.
And taking the time to chat with people, like seeing some stuff that's come up on Facebook that people have been talking about, it worked. Like some people, some impressions were made, and I'm really, really happy to see that like this worked out well for everybody. Winderly, we've had good wines from them before. They also brought their A game, man, pouring huge stuff at a couple of different events.
During the speed tasting,
yeah,
right. What did they pour? It was the 2010 their
legacy. Their legacy, which I didn't know existed. Right, this is like their top tier wine that for people that just go through the tasting room don't even hear about, and
it's delicious.
That's what they brought to share. So, thanks for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really cool. Cowhorn, one of our favorites from Southern Oregon. We haven't tasted as much at for a while. They had a table with a nice lineup there. Seriously made an impression. If everything works out well, we're going to have an interview with them later this year.
I also want to thank Abasella.
Yeah.
Because they threw down some good wine, got to send some people over to taste the Albarino finally. I've been like chattering about to my friends. Finally some people were getting to taste it and they really enjoyed it, so you guys brought some fantastic
And we got to get that one on the show too. But
yeah.
Southern Oregon brought some great representatives.
Wine.
Yeah.
Seven of Hearts.
Yeah, Seven of Hearts, another
Byron,
friend of ours, solid wine.
Yeah.
Made an effort of sharing a lot of wine, bringing his good stuff. I heard a lot of people talking about the Grenache Syrah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the GSM blend.
Yeah, made a lot of impressions.
Absolutely.
Solid wine. Great to see you there as well. The city of Carlton.
That was just a funny experience.
It was the craziest thing. Like,
you should
one of
post
the
a picture
things I've ever seen.
on our Facebook of me on the cop car.
Okay, I'll there. You're looking at it right now. We're talking about that.
Yeah.
So the entire town came together to put on a great show for a bus full of bloggers that came out. Kind of blew my mind. Like they, stopped traffic. The Horseradish put on an incredible dinner for us. A bunch of wineries came out to pour. And I think a huge chunk of City Hall was there just to help with the hospitality. Which
we were eating dinner with the mayor and with the police chief.
It's kind of crazy.
A little strange.
And somebody
cool.
remarked that wine contributes an enormous amount to the economy of the town, and it's still great to see that hospitality. With again, we're not big press, right?
No.
Like we're two guys that's
we're small time, but there was a lot of small time there, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that recognized and appreciated, and we all had a great time.
Absolutely, and the food was fantastic. So I think there was a bunch of different chefs that came out for that, right?
I don't know how the food came together.
I thought there was, but the food that showed up at the Horseradish was amazing. So
yeah,
that was a great dinner. Yeah.
And Craig from Del Rio, it was really great to hang out with you in the Southern Oregon Lounge on Saturday night. It was a good time.
One of the last places we ended up, bouncing around from room. Like after the main tastings are all done, sort of after parties pop up, right?
Yep.
Where it's just like people in a hotel room, they open a bunch of stuff from whatever they're showing, and landed in the Dundee room. That was fantastic.
Man, it was fantastic. Yeah, thanks to you guys. Boy,
I'm forgetting the name right now.
Gavin and Reed.
Okay.
Two guys that were working that.
That was awesome. Those were amazing
Killer
wines you're opening.
Yep.
But so we showed up in the Del Rio room right after. Was it Del
Southern
Rio
Oregon.
specifically?
I think it was Southern Oregon, but
but mostly it was the guys from Del Rio that were putting on the grill. And Craig, it was great hanging out with you and drinking some wine. Got to taste a whole bunch of Southern Oregon stuff that was just awesome.
Learned something that late in the conference, which I wouldn't have guessed to be possible, but it totally happened.
What did you learn?
I had no idea Del Rio had that many different varieties planted in it.
Oh, it's
that
huge.
was kind of amazing.
Yeah.
That was kind of amazing, and the rosé I remember being quite delicious.
The rosé was delicious at that point in the night. It was good.
Yeah. So, man, we had a great time. So thanks to all of the folks we just mentioned for being awesome and making the conference, contributing significantly to our enjoyment of the conference.
And I'm sure if you were there, you were watching the Twitter and Facebook and Cellar Tracker and everything that was that was sending the information out of what people were tasting. But man, it seemed like everyone was just blown away by how well Oregon did.
Yeah.
As far as presenting themselves.
It makes me proud to be
very
living and
that's what
drinking in the Oregon wine scene. Like,
yes, I was like, we live here. I was very proud of
yeah.
it.
And that's part of what's driven us to do the show too. Is we love sharing this with people, and I think a lot of you that watch it are from here and love talking about it.
Feel the same way.
You're in the same boat. So that's good stuff. Question of the day. We're going to change gears again. Chaz had an intense race this past week. You know, you all know he likes to run. Work put on a running event. Why don't you tell the story?
Yeah, so we did a 10K race. Intel puts on a 5 and 10K race every year. They call it Great Place to Run because we have a great place to work, like team. Anyway, set my goal for a sub 50 10K, sub 50 minute 10K, and landed at exactly 50 minutes. I don't even know how that's
wild
possible, but I mean I gave it everything, so 100%. And where are we going with that? Just like
so we were just talking like what your next running goal was. I'll probably leave that in before we start the show.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, like, kind of getting through the end of summer, like those of you who like to run races,
or any race, like,
yeah, probably had them happen. Like, have any good racing stories from this year or good?
What are your goals?
Yeah.
My goal for Portland is sub 4 hour. Anybody else running Portland?
There, I bet there are going to be some people responding to that. So.
All right.
Cool.
See you guys later.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.